that success don't taste different because you ate yours out the mud, Hunter Bean. Dream on that dream to those who don't get up and work hard enough to make it their reality, bro. They went from laughing at you to looking up to you. You ain't go to no nationally televised All-American game. You done came a long way from the JVB team. They ain't had TV crews at your signing day. See, you ain't go to conventional route. You started from the bottom of the depth chart on JV. So what, you had to go to 2 different high schools and 3 different JUCOs all away from your family in 3 different states. Everything you knew, leave your home, your family, your friends, and go JUCO, and ended up getting cut by both JUCOs that was away from your home. Nothing changed. Because, see, football was always about more than just making the flashy plays when people was in their seats. Nah, that was only half the battle. See, football was about working in the dark to you. To you, football was about grinding. It was about the process. Even when nobody believed, when everybody laughed, nothing ever changed. That's why now, you're able to pick where you want to go. Because it was a way of life, bro. You never complained about having too much on your plate, because coming where we come from, that was the goal anyway, just to eat. Go eat.
We in this thing. Bean, what's happening, man?
What's up with you? How you doing?
Ain't nothing, man. How's it going up there in Dallas, Texas?
Can't complain. Blessed, nevertheless.
Already, man. You blessed, man. And we talked about it earlier off camera, man. I know, you ready to get to work, man. You was already on campus, right? Western Kentucky, right?
Yeah, I had already went through winter workouts, proved myself a little bit, showed what I could do a little bit, 7-on-17 drills.
Yeah, and you had a good impression. I seen a lot of excitement wrapped around your signing, man. I seen Western Kentucky, they was tweeting it and man, they was ecstatic to have one of the top JUCO defensive backs, cornerbacks, especially in the country, especially how important y'all is to this game right now with all this chunking the ball around going on.
Yes, sir. They love the fact that I decided to sign with them. You know what I'm saying? The process was long and it was real stressful for both sides. Myself, my family, and then the school. But I feel like it was the best decision. You know what I'm saying? The coaches, it's just the relationship we had was unmatched with any other program. So that's what I look for. You know what I'm saying? Step one was find the best relationship. So I feel like I found that at Western Kentucky.
Already. So let everybody know where you from.
I'm from Dallas, Texas. 214, baby.
214 Bean, baby. Dominique Bradshaw, but they all hear me. I'm gonna refer to him as Bean because he keep it a bean. He gonna keep it a bean with you, man. Great hard worker, and I just think that we should share your story to everybody. Let everybody know what's going on out here and show them the real grind. Bean, coming up, what part of Dallas you came up out of?
I came out of West Dallas.
West Dallas, West Dallas.
Yes,
okay, and so what was your sport? What was your favorite sport growing up?
See, my favorite sport wasn't even football. It was basketball. It was baseball and basketball. I played flag. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, I loved flag. And then my mom, she was scared I was gonna get hurt, so she made me play soccer. So I started loving soccer. So I played soccer, baseball, and basketball. Then when I was 12, I started playing tackle football. I just been playing it and fell in love with it ever since. Can't lose the love for it.
Man, soccer is a hell of a sport, Bubba. You know that is a lot of running, man. I got a whole different respect for soccer players and seeing how much they run, and it's like you going 100 miles an hour the whole entire game, man. Do you think that soccer translated into your good footwork? Because you got some excellent feet, great reaction, and explosion through your feet. Did soccer set the foundation for that?
I feel like soccer did because the certain movements that a soccer player need have to be swift and quick. It helped. I feel like soccer did help me with my quick twitchability and also with my conditioning for sure. Being able to run, when you tired, you still gotta play in soccer. So same way in football, fourth down, fourth quarter, you still gotta play even though you're tired. So I feel like soccer did have a big effect on me playing soccer. It did help me a lot with my game in football.
As far as baseball, the hand-eye coordination.
Oh yeah, for sure. Cause most people I was skinnier. I was little when I played baseball, but I played catcher.
Right.
I played catcher. So me being skinny, I you know what I'm saying. I feel like baseball helped me too. Being able to catch that ball moving, 80, 90 miles per hour. In high school and growing up, that ball moving pretty fast. So yeah, that really did have a lot of a big push for me for sure.
What did you play in baseball?
I played center field in high school, but growing up all my life I played pitcher and catcher.
Pitcher and catcher, that is a hell of a mix. Center field, that ain't nothing but safety, man. I can't give you no credit. Roger played center field when he played baseball for a ski taste, man. That boy, he was hawking the hell out of that ball in the middle of the field. That hit it, and he ain't know that cutout man thing. He'll try to throw him up all the way at home. I'm throwing you out from back there. I'm like, nah, dude, that ain't how you do it. Like, nah, I don't like baseball, daddy.
Yeah, I fell in love with baseball for sure.
That's good, man. Do you wish you would have stuck? Which sport do you wish you would have stuck with? You know, knowing what you know now, you know, we'll get through the whole story, but, you know, looking back, you know, what sport do you think you would have stuck at, or did you make the right decision?
I feel like I did make the right decision. I feel like the game of football is just something different, you know, than any other sport, you know, gave me. The amount of aggression I could turn on. I ain't even got to hit no flip no switch or nothing, you know what I'm saying? It's just go out there and eat. 4 quarters strong. I feel like I did make the right decision playing football, you know. In the world we live in, everything's centered around money, and people is pushing me to play baseball for money. And I'm just not all about the money. I'm all about enjoying myself and doing what I feel like my purpose is. And I feel like my purpose is, you know, locking up the best receiver, you know, playing football.
Hey, that's a good message. What you said, you know, your heart wasn't in those other sports because, you know, we just had money farming in, and they say he probably would have been one of the best defensive backs to come out from down here. And I don't know if you heard, you know, down here we produce defensive backs. Like I think you probably was born down here and moved up there. You know what I'm saying? But he said, you know, everybody wanted to know, was like, man, if you'd have stayed defensive back, he probably still been in the NFL. Ain't no telling where the hell he been. Probably been the top corner in the NFL. He was just like, man, my heart not in it. You know, my heart was scoring touchdowns and, you know, on that side, you know, and that made a bunch of people, you know, us old heads, because we was under the thing like, man, as long as I'm not on the sideline, I'm playing wherever. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have that option, you know, and y'all got a different playing field. You know, mentality-wise, it's really smarter if you think about it. You know what I'm saying? Because we spun our wheels. We was all out of position. And a lot of y'all are not coming out of here out of position. Y'all are polished in the position y'all been playing. So as far as your parents, who did you get your talent from? The mama side or the daddy side? We're gonna talk about it.
Honestly, I can't even tell you. But my dad for sure.
He was a baller.
Yeah, my dad's side of the family is all athletes. Really, I don't know how true it is, but my grandma and them tell me that Ma Bradshaw is my kinfolk in some type of way. So I don't know how that ties in, but I know that's probably one for sure. But I don't really know where I get my talent from because, you know, nobody really play now.
Right.
I'm the youngest, you know what I'm saying, out of my group of family, so you know, it's hard to, you know, choose out who was really good and who just had them dreams back in the day.
Right. Hey, who was your favorite player growing up? Who did you look for? Who did you try to emulate?
So my favorite player growing up was Darrell Reeves.
Ooh, that's a stiff one right there, boy.
Yeah, because, I mean, I wasn't really the fastest, the strongest. I was skinny as I don't know what. And everybody used to tell me, Darrell Reeves is a technician. You need to watch him, da-da-da-da. Okay, I'm gonna watch and I'm gonna see, and I you know, so I try to mirror my game after D. Reeves for sure.
Right.
And keep the pioneers at the cornerback position, because I ain't even play cornerback out my life, so.
Okay.
Somebody who taught me really how to play corner.
Okay, what was your favorite football? I mean, your first football memory. Like, what locked you in to like, man, I'm gonna play this football thing? What moment? At any level, because some people like to get it late. Some people. A lot of people was just going through the motions playing and it didn't snap to until like they junior year in high school. Like, I'm all right in this. You know, when did it snap to you that I like this thing?
So, all my life I played QB, but I never hit no growth spurt. So 7th, 8th grade, coaches tried to move me to like receiver or whatever. You know, I was balling at receiver, but I wasn't fast. I just make, you know what I'm saying, moves in the open field. And I knew all the plays. You know, coaches always knew Bradshaw gonna learn his technique fundamentals. You know, he know what he supposed to do. You know, so 8th grade year, our quarterback. I was on B team. I never touched the A team all my life. So B team right before our big rivalry game, they put me at quarterback. And I went out there, and one of my buddies I grew up with all my life, you know, we've been playing ball with each other since the backyard. I went out there and I threw 2 touchdown passes, brought our team back, and we got the dub. So that has to be my favorite. That memory right there, I'ma forever remember that game. You know, that game changed my football outlook for sure.
That locked you in, man. So you have any siblings?
Yeah, I have 4 older brothers and a little sister.
4 older brothers. So you the baby boy.
I'm the baby boy, yeah.
Okay. Any of your older brothers play sports?
Yeah, both of my brothers, well, all 3 of my brothers played football, basketball. You know, we was all kind of athletic. We all was athletes for sure. But none of us could, you know, scratch the surface and go, you know, somewhere that we really dreamed about going. So I feel like, you know, that also pushed me to, you know, do what I do because we all want to go D1. You know, I finally get to do it out of all of us.
It's good because you had that good curve, and in front of you had older brothers to watch, and you get stronger down the line as it go. It always comes out that the baby boy ended up being the one because he had influence from the older brothers, and fair is fair. Life ain't fair, but that's usually how it go, you know. So even with my baby boy, he's looking at his 2 older brothers, and now the expectation is, okay, I got to go to college and play football. You know, a lot of baby brothers, their expectation is, well, after high school, we done, and we going to go get a job or go to jail or do something, you know, whatever. You know, so they had a good influence on you. In your family, who has the biggest impact on you? Like, who is your go-to guy when you're having a bad day? Or your go-to girl, or whoever, you know, your go-to lady? Who is that? Because this is my mama.
I say I got 2 people. One that motivate me and one that get my mind right.
Right.
One that motivate me would have to be my mom for sure. And then my oldest brother, he get my mind right. Him and my niece, really. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I got 3 people. Because really my niece, you know what I'm saying, seeing my niece's face, seeing how happy she is when she see me, seeing her glow up like that, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be the person to put her life successfully into, you know what I'm saying, where she always has that smile. She ain't got to worry about being sad. So, you know what I'm saying, I had to say my niece for sure. If I had to say anybody, I'd say my niece or my mom. That's good.
And women and females in general, they know how to simplify stuff that men naturally make more and more, how can I say, complicated, you know. And they got a good job. That's why it's good to have them in your life. How good was you on your Little League team?
My Little League team, okay, Little League wise, I ain't gonna lie, I really wasn't that good, but I played baseball and I played quarterback.
Right.
And I was kind of fast, so it was like, just go play quarterback. You know, I couldn't catch for anything. I couldn't catch a common cold if they had a common cold out there back in the day. But quarterback was always my position.
Right.
For sure.
Did that?
My skill set wasn't too good.
Yeah, you had to work on it, right?
Yeah, I really did.
That's good. What did you have a Little League coach that impacted you, or that, you know, you kind of gravitated to and you still deal with to this day, or they was just, you know, y'all didn't have that type in any sport because you play multiple sports?
Honestly, nah, not really. None of my coaches really believed in me. I'm gonna be honest with you. None of them really believed in me. So, you know, when they see me now, it's like, man, like, whoa, you feel me? So it surprised them. But nah, I really didn't have no Little League coach, but my high school baseball coach, he was probably the only coach that really had faith in me, you know what I'm saying, growing up or whatever. So you
didn't get it till high school? You didn't get that outside support?
Nah, I didn't get it to high school. High school did it for me my freshman year.
Nah, that ain't good. So going through, so in junior high, you said you was on B team. You was the B team quarterback or whatever, right? So when you finally, you know, crossed that threshold to high school, how did that go? Like, in that freshman year, how did that go walking in? Were you not noticed, not on the radar? Like, how was the high school experience when you first walked in?
So we have a freshman center in Cedar Hill. That's where I went to high school at first. We had a freshman center, so all the coaches knew me because of my big brother and what he did at the, you know, what they'll say is like the senior high school, the big school, 10th through 12th grade.
They put in that work.
Like on the wall of fame and everything, so they wanted me to be like my brother. But now,
what position did your brother play?
He played corner. My brother played corner all his life. He played corner and running back, matter of fact.
Right. What's his name?
Derek Bradshaw.
Derek Bradshaw, okay. I'm going to look him up. Yeah, we're football almanacs, man. We like to look up everybody. So when you came into high school, did you come in as a quarterback, or did they move you to the defense side of the ball?
So I started playing I've been playing quarterback all my life. So I got cool with, you know what I'm saying, one of my brother coaches when he was in high school, Coach Glaze or whatever, he kept me playing quarterback. Right. But the thing was, I couldn't reach that growth spurt. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't get my arm strong enough for anything to keep playing quarterback. So I know you heard Allen. We played Allen High School, and
right.
my quarterback skills, they were showing like they wasn't there. So I ended up playing receiver the rest of my freshman year, and then I ended up starting at receiver at slot. So yeah, that first year it was
not
crazy,
the kid who couldn't catch. Remember you said you couldn't. You just went and grinded and worked on it.
I really did. Everything with me, you know, since day one was always, I see these other kids doing this and that. How are they doing that? Like, how is he running so fast? How is he changing direction so quick? How is he catching the ball and doing that? So my thing was, for me, why look at somebody else when I could do it myself?
Right.
So it was always like, go do it yourself. So I look up tape, I look up videos, watch the best receivers, watch how they run drills, run routes. And I go out there, set up my little cones or rocks. I didn't have cones, you know, all the time growing up. I used to set up with rocks or like bricks I used to find in my backyard. And I used to put them in a backpack and just walk up to the park and do little drills.
With rocks, you gonna get the work in regardless.
Yeah, I feel like I had to. I used to find horse apples just to set them up, just so I could see them stand up off the ground. You know, I just had to, you know, I had to push myself to be, you know what I'm saying, the best I could be. You know, even if it wasn't for everybody else, what could I be? You know, so.
That was you. You were self-motivated, right?
Yeah, I was, because nobody ever believed in me, like, nobody, you know.
Right. So when did you reach the varsity level in high school?
My senior year.
Senior year.
Yeah, really.
It's a lot of NFL partners I got, and they all got this comment saying they're like, man, if you can play, they will find you. If you can play, they always say that, and please believe, I've seen it multiple times since they've been giving me that message. Like, man, it's true. You know, every coach, especially with this explosion of all these colleges, all this football program, like football is America's pastime now. So you got a way better chance of getting found. You know, so that senior year, you got 1 year to get your check, right? You got 1 year to get your money. How was that senior year? How was y'all record, first off?
Well, I went to Cedar Hill. You know, that's kind of like a Texas powerhouse, you know, at my time.
Right.
But, I mean, I wasn't good enough to play. You know, I ain't gonna lie to you, I wasn't good enough to play. Mm-hmm. So my people was going through like a divorce or whatever. So I ended up moving to Grand Prairie High School. You know, it was new for me. You know, it wasn't the experience that I was looking forward to. But I knew, one, it hit me with football because I ain't playing at Cedar Hill.
Right.
So, and then two, it hit me just, you know, get away from everybody, start a new journey. So I moved to Cedar Hill, and Grand Prairie. And when I first got there, it was just like, they put me in the fire. Like, you want to play? You went to Cedar Hill just because of the name? We're going to throw you in there and see what you can do. So that's what they did. And I was playing receiver and corner. That's when I first started playing cornerback my senior year. So you
made the train. So you had to switch high schools before your senior year, you switched, or so right before? So kids been there 4 years and you got to go get some money.
Yeah. So my junior year, the second semester of my junior year, which would be like the spring, I had transferred to Grand Prairie High School.
So how did you finish? I mean, throughout the season, like, did you progress as the season went on, or was it steady? Like, what?
Senior year, I played receiver, punt return, corner. I wasn't really trying to hit nobody back then, because I never really played defense. You know, it was
right.
new to me. But some kind of way, I stick with everybody. You know, it was just like some raw, natural ability for me to just play corner. Like, I had taught myself how to backpedal and all that, you know, from when I first got to Grand Prairie all the way through. And I just played corner. I was doing pretty good. You know, I played receiver, caught a couple of touchdowns against some of the big name schools in Texas at the time, you know, Cedar Hill, DeSoto. I went off Duncanville game, which is also a big school now. You know, it wasn't too good when I played, but yeah. So. Man,
I'm gonna tell you, Dallas has maintained at least two powerhouses per segment. You can pick them whenever. I got people that's from Dallas. Like, I don't know if Roger told you, but like I got a lot of people that have the other half of my family from Dallas, Texas, and boy, they talk big cash money shit, you know. But it's been periods of powerhouses consistently in a row. It might be these two, this 10 years, 5 years, and it'll be the next two. So I know playing football in Dallas is definitely a big dynamic. So how did y'all finish the season? Did y'all go to playoffs or none of that?
I mean, we barely won games, honestly. You know, I think we went 2-8.
Damn.
And we lost I remember my first game on varsity, I cried because I really wanted to win so bad. Like, I feel like I put in so much work to be, to excel, and when I failed, it just hurt me. So losing those games, going 2-8, that also gave me fire. Like, man, I'm tired of losing. Like, I came from a winning school. I'm not no loser.
Right.
It's just the mindset and the mentality that I had. Like, I'm not no loser.
So,
I gotta win. How
was your production in the midst of losing? Because as a cornerback, you could be on a losing team, but I don't want to sound you can be winning, but your team losing. I understand you took it as an overall loss because it don't matter if you had 15 interceptions that season. If y'all lost, a 2-8 is 2-8, and you take ownership of that too. I can tell by by your response. But how was your production that year?
So my production defensively wasn't good as far as coming up, making tackles, being physical and stuff. I just didn't want the receiver to catch the ball. That's what it was. But production wise, I mean, I didn't give up. I gave up one touchdown my whole senior year, my first year playing corner, and it was my whole high school. So it kind of that hurt me too.
Right.
And it was against one of the top receivers in the nation at that time. So
what's his name? You got his name?
Yeah, Charleston Rambo. He goes to OU right now.
Charleston Rambo?
Yes, sir.
That name sounds from Charleston Rambo. He got an older brother or something like that?
Nah, he don't. Nah, he don't.
Okay.
Not from what I know.
So that was your biggest matchup of the season?
Yeah, it really was. See that playing my old high school, still being in their district, being able to play them, that was probably one of my best games defensively, and then giving up that touchdown just hit me a little bit.
Right.
But, yeah.
How was but you held him to one touchdown? How many catches?
I gave up one touchdown all season. I ain't really give up no catches though, for real.
Not
it was
at all.
crazy. I was making it happen, but I ain't really give up too many catches.
So that was hell for the other corner.
Yeah, for real. Though. It really was. And they was I was a senior, and they was sophomores, juniors, young guys, just young at the position, but young-minded overall. They didn't really have that, that extra drive.
Right.
So they was really just out there.
Well, damn. So how was the recruiting process once the season ended?
My senior
Yeah.
year? Wasn't no recruiting process.
No looks?
It was nothing. Zero.
So you gave up one catch, one touchdown the whole season, and no looks, no nothing?
Nope.
Not even, wow.
No, they said I was too little. I was little. I was probably 140 in high school. 130, 140 for real. Barely.
So okay, no look. So how early, when did it lock in? Hey man, if I want to play football, I got to make something shake.
So it had to be, I stayed around Grand Prairie, after I graduated to, they had great facilities. I mean, I didn't understand how I wasn't winning, but they had great facilities. But I wanted to play college ball. And I had got hit up by Missouri Valley. Heard myself, Missouri Valley. And they was come play, but I didn't really want to play receiver at the time. It was crazy. I've been playing receiver offense all my life. I didn't want to play receiver, but they told me to come. But I was I'm better than this. You know what I'm saying? I'm better than I want to go D1, So I don't know. It really ain't started high school. It really didn't. I had to sit out. When I graduated, I didn't have to sit out, but I sit out, after high school. I had some family stuff going on or whatever, so I moved out, and I just grind, that whole first fall semester of, 2016, so fall of 2016, I was just grinding, just football.
Right.
Working a good job to be able to fend for myself.
Did you use that as a stress reliever, like the football workout, to get your mind off whatever's going on in the personal life?
Yeah, football really is my stress reliever. No matter what I go through, or I see this game, even if I'm just watching film, it's just watching the game, being around it, even touching the football. It's just something it just do to me. It's a natural love that, it's like candy for a baby. It's
right.
just I don't know. It's just something that it just do something to me, basically.
So
honestly, it just do something to me.
So you sat out and you went and worked on what did you work on specifically to say, well, you know, on that year off, because you know you can't just be working blindly, or did you work blindly, or did you have a focus point like, let me fix this, let me fix that, so I can resell myself? Because what you're doing is, I call it repackaging. You know, okay, you missed your first shot, let me repackage, take this year and repackage so I can sell myself again. What did you fix?
Well, I didn't get recruited, so I didn't know like what position I wanted to play. So I didn't know if I'm gonna play receiver, if I was gonna get, you know, I knew I was gonna try and go JUCO. That was my mindset. Like, okay, I didn't have the best year, you know, I can develop and maybe try and do this and that. I heard about JUCO. My brother went JUCO, so it's like try and go JUCO. But as far as that time off, like I just worked on everything. Like anything that I felt like I seen on like social media or like the internet, or when I look up drills, I tried to do that to the best of my ability.
Self-education. You didn't have no personal trainer, none of that good stuff, huh?
Nah.
You just had you had Dominique. That's it. That's who you had.
Me and God. That's really it.
God, dog. So you go JUCO. How did you get to the first JUCO? Did you get to? How did that happen?
So my first JUCO, it was crazy. I made me a little workout video, put it together. To me now, it's like, what did they see in me back then, you know? But I like watching that workout video that I made to get seen by JUCO. So I had posted a video, 2016 Christmas. I was sitting at my uncle's house and I was just sending out the video that any JUCO I could find. I didn't care if they didn't win the game in 20 years, anything.
You're trying to eat.
Like, man, I gotta play ball. I want to play ball. I gotta do this. So, Independence Community College in Kansas, they on Last Chance U now. They blew it real big.
Was that coach there?
Yeah, Coach Brown. He was there.
Is he really like that, or was he putting on for the cameras?
Nah, that man 100% like that for real. That man is 100% like that for real. But most people, outside looking in, most people will see that like, why is he talking to them kids like that? But I was the type of person that he didn't never really talk to me like that because I always worked hard, I always into my business. But hearing him, how he talked to the whole team when we not doing what we supposed to do, like, it was just like, I don't know. It was just like I needed that at the time. It was an extra push for me. You know, like, Coach Brown wants us to be so great, why we can't be great?
Right.
So, most people don't see Coach Brown as a good light, but I seen Coach Brown as somebody that I needed in my life at that time.
Hey, I'm a firm believer. I needed somebody like Coach Brown in my life. I mean, I don't do good with cupcake coaching. Me as a player, I always was closer to the assholes, you know, because there wasn't no lie in them. They always told the truth. You feel what I'm saying? So that's a big thing, because you know he is an asshole. I follow him on Twitter, you know, but I can play for Coach Brown. You know, I don't know why. Maybe I'm crazy, but I would love to play for him, because a lot of people don't get the message, you know, because they so busy looking at the messenger, they miss the damn message. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So how did it go at Independence?
Independence was crazy. I mean, it taught me that nothing is given, everything is earned. Let's put it like that. I don't know why or what crazy reason, but they had like 6 bounce back at my position at corner, you know, DB period. Like, they had plenty bounce backs. Like, everybody that played DB was almost a bounce back or somebody that had a name, you know what I'm saying, high school.
Probably how they made the show Last Chance U then, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
So you had everybody with the same story, and y'all all fighting for a job. So you got this cage, right, with 5 pit bulls in there, 6 pit bulls, and you gonna throw 1 pork chop in that mug.
Basically. But what's crazy, you got all them pit bulls, you got a pork chop, and then there was me. I was like the chihuahua of the group. You know what I'm saying? I was the chihuahua of the group. Like,
yeah.
Cage them pit bulls, but they eating, and he starving. That's how I was, because I was 3rd or 4th string. I wasn't getting no reps, no shine. So I feel like I was the chihuahua of that pit bull group for sure. Wow.
So what led to? So did you play a season over there?
Didn't. They cut me.
Wow.
I cried, man. I went to my dorm room and I cried that day. I ain't even tell my people till like a week later, but I cried, man. Like that pain that I felt right then getting cut from that team was a pain I told myself after them couple of days of me sobbing, feeling sorry for myself. I never feel like that again. So from even when they cut me that same day, I wiped up them tears. I went out there on that field and I worked out my hardest. I worked my hardest. After they cut me, I worked out my hardest.
So most people quit after they get cut. You know, that's the society we that we in right now. People, you fail one time, they like, oh, it's a wrap. I'm done. Especially with sports, I'm done with it. You know what I'm saying? But it's great that you were able to bounce back. You know what I mean? And we'll get to it. So you go to JUCO number 2.
Yeah.
How did you get to that point? Like, what made you, okay, I got to regrind again. Let me repackage myself again.
Yeah, it was just that. I guess me going to JUCO showed me like I was following all these JUCO pages, all these JUCO dudes getting offers, and I just got cut from my JUCO. So
right.
It was like, find you a home or you gonna be at the crib, and I ain't really want to live with my people. You know, it was just like something in me like I want to be the person to put my family in a better place than what we were in. So me going back home, I just feel like that wasn't an option. So, like I did what I did to get to Indy. I just started blowing JUCOs up, sending them Indy film. But my Indy film was god awful, terrible. I ain't gonna lie. Like I probably had about 8 good plays, and everything was like box drill and like press and stuff like that. You know, it wasn't nothing really. I don't know how my next JUCO gave me that opportunity, because looking back at it, it's like what is you looking at?
Yeah, yeah.
I like how I was back then. My talent, my skill set back then, it just helped me to push greater. It helped me to understand like I got better when I was in Indy.
So your next JUCO was Navarro, right? So, and you said, let me rewind. You said you learned, you know, so you did get some game from Indy, you know.
Yeah, they really taught me football and how to see it from a defensive point of view. Yeah, for sure.
Right. So your next JUCO was where?
I went to Iowa West in Council Bluffs, Iowa.
Where the hell is that?
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine. That's I went Council Bluffs, Iowa. It's like 30-45 minutes from Lincoln, Nebraska, where University of Nebraska is located.
Oh, so you 30-40 minutes from Nebraska. So you in Nebraska, your people way in Dallas. So you, once again, it's you. It's 214 Bean by itself.
By my lonesome, just like I like it though.
Right. So how did you establish yourself when you got on campus up there? Like, how did that go?
So my thing was I wasn't gonna talk to nobody when I got to. So I told myself I wasn't gonna talk to nobody, associate with nobody. I was gonna put my nose down and work.
Right.
It was this one coach. He coached this time. His name was Jake Crane. He called me out to the field one day. You know, he told me it was DBs out there. It was new receivers. I was a walk-on. I didn't even have no scholarship. So it was like all the freshmen scholarship guys and like some of the sophomores that were returning scholarship guys. They was out there, receivers, all that. I just went out there and did one-on-ones, and I ain't get a ball caught on me, literally.
Really?
I didn't get no ball caught on me. Next day forward, them boys put me in a position to try and, be the star of their team.
Right. So did you play a season over there?
I didn't play a season. I got red shirt.
You got red shirt.
And what's really crazy about it, I was starting. I was running with the walk-ons, which is the 4 and the 5s. They had JV teams, so I was running with the JV team.
Right.
And,
they had that many players?
They had that many players and people trying to walk on from, all over Iowa was trying to come there because it's like a top JUCO. They was looked at a lot in Iowa and where they played it.
Right. Okay. So you get red shirt. So what happened that red shirt year that led to you leaving that school? Like what went on?
So my red shirt year, my mom was going through the process of like we was losing our house at that time.
Dog.
Yeah, it was crazy. She was thinking about filing for bankruptcy and all types of stuff, and it was just real stressful. It was hard for her. Like I was giving plasma to be able to like have money in my pocket, so I wouldn't have to ask my mama to send me some money so I could eat tonight.
You was giving plasma?
Plasma. Yeah, I was going and giving plasma at the clinic so I could have some money to eat. Because I ain't want to ask my mom or my pops for it, you know. I ain't want to ask them for it because it was already extra stress. I'm so many hours away from home. They don't know what I'm doing. I'm a walk-on, so I'm really finna be in debt, taking out plenty loans, and you know, it was just a lot for you know, 18, 19-year-old. You know, I think I was 18, 19 at the time for sure. You know, so it was a lot. You know, so seeing me go through that, I just didn't want to put no more stress on them. So I just tried to feel for myself.
Right. You give me some light now, Bean. I gotta see. People gotta see your face when you. You dropping some science on them. I'm telling you, drop. This here right here. So let me get. So you had to. Man, this is rough. This is rough, man. Because the reason I'm saying it's rough, because you don't know how strong it is for somebody to still try to do the right thing. You know, why you going through that? You know, a lot of people, they cop out. They make excuses. Well, okay, this is my excuse to go do whatever illegal, right? What the majority of people do. You feel what I'm saying? In your situation. But you did all that, and at the same time, you had to repackage yourself again. How did that go?
I feel like the Navarro thing was it was a move that I was prepared for. You know, I feel like me getting cut from a JUCO, me not having nothing in high school, it was like another step at university. I don't know nobody here, don't know no coaches. Just go do what you got to do to try and eat. So I don't know. It's I already been in face this part of adversity, so just go do it again and see what come out of it.
What made you pick Navarro or made Navarro pick you? How did that relationship, how did that happen?
Let's see. So at Western, I didn't play, so I had like scout team fan. But I just told the coaches like the situation with my mom and, you know, us possibly losing our home or whatever. So it was like, you know, just try and go to Navarro, you know, try and stay close to home. But they was helping me, you know, they was like, they was basically like, you know, come on, you know, let's see. Because at that point in time, I guess, like, they lost all their corners, so they didn't have them. So,
they graduated?
Yeah, I want to say I got lucky. I got blessed with that opportunity because they lost all their corners. They either graduated or transferred.
Yeah. What coach recruited you?
To Navarro?
Yeah. What coach? Who attention you grabbed?
I can't even put my finger on it because I just emailed all of them.
Ben, you don't be playing. You aggressive with it, huh?
Yeah, I gotta hit up everybody to get my chance. I feel like if I don't, I didn't take that extra mile. I just let myself miss out on opportunity.
Right. So you get to Navarro. Now that first day of practice, how was it?
First day.
Another audition.
Yeah, I got there in the spring, and I went crazy in the spring. I couldn't learn. My problem was I couldn't learn the technique. See, now at this point in time, I had some aggression. I had some fire in me. So back in high school, I didn't want to hit. Now I'm hitting. Like I can see myself physically putting people in the dirt. You know what I'm saying? So it went good, but I couldn't learn Resby technique, which was really holding me back. I could do everything else right except for his technique, and the technique would be like press or whatever, like his press technique. Like I didn't never know how to inch out or anything like that. I played straight, face to face, pitch a step and slide as far as press went.
Right.
Corner.
Hey, Resby, and what I noticed, man, he is real technical, man. He is big on, and like a lot of, like for mine, you know, even my boy, you know, a lot of people said he was technically sound, and then he got up there and then he was told, hey man, your technique is horrible. You need to get your technique shit right. And I was like, whoa. And when I looked, you know, when I think I went up there to the spring game and I watched, I had to be spring of y'all freshman year. I seen how technical y'all was, because you have to be real technical playing that style of defense when you manned up the whole day, and especially if you're a goddamn field corner where you got all that grass you got to cover, and you know that right there is did it make you better? Like how much did that emphasis on the technical part? How much did that help you, or did it hurt you?
At first, it did hurt me mentally. I went through points of time where I feel like I ate up all the practice, then I come in the meeting room and it'd be like, you didn't do nothing right, you know. And I feel like Coach Reds, like him basically not giving us like all that rah, all that praise. It helped us to just keep working, helped me to keep working. And as far as that went, I feel like, yeah, if Brisby would have stayed on me so hard, you know, like it did hurt me. It did hurt me because at the beginning I couldn't learn that technique, and it was hindering me. Like, why I go from starting day one because we ain't had no corners, so I'm starting. Then I move down slowly, 2s, 3s, barely getting reps. You feel me? So
You can't redshirt no more because you already didn't use that up.
yeah, I can't redshirt. It was like I gotta get right. I just had to.
So at what moment did it click?
My ex of me told me that I gotta level my level of play up, and I gotta level how hard I work. I was working everybody. Like after my spring game, I gave up 2 touchdowns, and it was like I haven't given up a touchdown. You know, all of high school I didn't play no more after that. So it's like, man, I ain't giving up no touchdowns since forever. Like I haven't really gave up no touchdowns all my life. So after the spring game, right back on the field doing drills. People like, bro, you crazy, bro? We should play the whole game. I don't care. I ain't play good. So I'm finna go in here, watch the film with y'all, and see y'all doing good when I go out here and get better.
Right. That's a hell of a thing. So you go through that freshman year. So did you start any games your freshman year?
So my freshman year was my redshirt freshman year. That's
I'm talking about not the fresh. I'm talking about your first year at Navarro. I'm sorry, your first year at Navarro.
Okay, so yeah, my first year at Navarro, I didn't get no reps at corner, but one rep, and that was the bowl game. I came in my first, only playing the bowl game and made a tackle. I didn't get no reps at corner. My first game ever in Navarro was like the 3rd or 4th game. We played Tyler Junior College. I didn't get no snaps at corner. They had 3 freshmen. They put 2-3 freshmen they put in front of me. They moved the safety to corner. Wasn't trying to give me no chance. I was on scout team.
Damn.
I was on scout team, and I was eating up on scout team, called wrecking havoc. You know, quarterback can't even get no reps. You know, Parker McNeil, you know, at that time, he was raving. Like, everybody like, man, Parker put up 300-400 yards a game.
Yeah, that boy legit, man.
That on me.
Yeah. Not on me, though. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, and I'm on scout team locking them up, so they finally gave me that chance. TJC, my first overall play, come in. I stop a touchdown on kickoff. I chase dude down, flip him on his neck. All that season, no reps at corner. We played Texas A&T. Only time I got reps at corner. After that, no reps at corner. I ain't never get my chance. And even the little freshman dudes was struggling. I knew the defense from the spring. They brought them in. And, you know, and I couldn't even play fall camp my first year. I couldn't even play fall camp because I was paying for my bill at Iowa Western. Remember, I was a walk-on, so I had to pay fall camp out the pocket. And they let me come in the spring, but they ain't let me play in the fall because I ain't have my official. So I had to sit out fall camp. And then after that, I ain't get no more reps. I ain't get no burn in that corner.
So now this your money year, right? You going into your sophomore year. So you still basically at that same point, not far as physically, because you didn't learn a lot from all the stops you done made, right? But you basically at the same damn place far as production wise, because you haven't got on the field since, let's just say, high school, senior year high school. You haven't touched the field. So now all the marbles is into the sophomore year you going into. Was it pressure, or was it like, man, look, it's been pressure since I left Dallas, Texas? You know, how was it?
So, let's see. That next spring, it was either you be that man or you gonna be at the house. It was either.
It wasn't nothing else.
It was exactly like that. I can't put it no other way. It was sink or swim. Either you eat this spring, try and get noticed, and in the fall they finna bring some dude in here to replace you. You know, if you wasn't gonna get right, you're gonna be at the house. You're gonna be right back in Dallas. I can't go back to the D. So yeah, I had to get right.
God damn. So game one, how did it go?
I ended that game with tears, just like I ended my first varsity high school football game with tears. I played good in coverage. They said a receiver was gonna go for 120, 150 on me.
Do you know the receiver name? Do you remember?
I want to say his first name is Torino. That's all I remember. I think it's Torino Davis, if I'm not mistaken. He was like 6'4", 2-something. Wasn't worried about it, though. Yeah.
That's that D-time, Cream City, huh?
Yeah, they said that boy gonna put 100 plus on me. That boy caught one pass the whole game.
The whole game.
That man up the whole game.
Wow.
He hit nothing on me.
Wow. So that year, this past year, and I'm talking about this past season in Navarro. Now I seen some shit, and I'm gonna talk to you about that. But what do you feel was your best performance?
TJC. TJC was the game. I had 5 PBUs that game. 5 PBUs. So TJC had to be the best game for me for sure. TJC, yeah, because after that game, you know, coaches hit me up. Like, that's when I got on everybody's radar. I was leading Zuko in interceptions. I mean, not interceptions, pass breakups.
Right.
I had 9, and that was after we played TJC 4th game of the season. So, at the 4th game of the season, I had 9 PPUs. So,
wow.
That was my best performance for sure.
Nobody messing with you. So, you were the number 1 corner.
Yeah. This season, yes, sir.
How did Coach Resby feel about your production?
Coach Rez, I feel like all of the coaches, you know, Coach Rez for sure. I feel like they all feel like I really went out there and did what I could do. You know, I started off slow, kinda, you know, still in my first time playing. But I feel like as far as production went, my production was good, great. You know, it wasn't me. I don't feel like I did nothing I should have did. I should have PBUs, 9 PBUs. I should have had 9 interceptions.
Right.
So, as far as Rez, I mean, all my coaches went. They felt like I produced and I did exactly what the job was. You know, my job description said. But me, nah, I ain't do jack squat yet. I feel like I ain't do nothing. I ain't even get All-American. So what did I do?
Right. So we talked about what game you feel was your best game. What game do you feel was your worst game?
Worst game?
Where it just wasn't nothing clicking for you. Like, man, God dog, I need to go home, go to sleep, and start over on this shit.
What's my worst game? My first game was my worst game. That game woke me up.
I mean, what was the issue that game? It wasn't work ethic. What was the issue? Just pressing too hard, trying to be perfect? What was it?
I felt like it was more pressure I put on myself. I knew I was the number 1 corner. I knew first game didn't nobody know about me, but I was kind of nervous. You know, I was nervous to mess up. You know, this is my first shot, and I just always I feel like I had a monkey on my back for no reason. And after that game, I released it, but that game, I just put too much pressure on myself, way too much pressure on myself.
Right. What made you relax and just play football?
What made me relax, play football, would have to be looking at that game and never wanting to be like that again.
Right.
Everybody in this, because I'm my coach, we didn't see that all fall camp. That all, you know, while I've been there for the first game of the season, where that same being that was 3-4 weeks ago.
Right.
I felt like I had to go look at that count, seeing that I know them people and I don't know these people. Why am I locking up people with these that I know? And these dudes, they had loyalty to me, the people I'm playing with. These dudes don't got no loyalty to me. So it's like, I'm giving them hell at practice. I need to give everybody who lined up in front of me hell. So after that day, watching that film, it's like I got to give everybody hell from now on. I'm losing too much.
Right,
I had to tie my grip back up.
So who did you lean on? Because you up there, like, right? And now, for the most of the time, you've been by yourself, by your lonely doing all this shit, right?
Yeah.
Who did you have like that? I mean, because you got to vent to somebody. Like, you got to have somebody to, you know, like, it ain't healthy to keep it all bottled up, you know, especially, you know, young as y'all is. It's like, did you have anybody to call back home or up there, really? Because calling back home, I seen that like, how did you vent? You know, who did you vent to? Or who was your support system at Navarro?
I really don't feel like, I feel like at my point in Navarro, I feel like I only had 2 people that supported me, that makes sense. Like, outside of my team, outside of, my family. Like, I had my boy who I grew up with, his name DeMarcus, and my homegirl, Sarah. Them was the only people I could vent to. They're the only people I feel like understood, you know what I'm saying? Everything that go on outside of football and inside of football. So,
right.
And I have my granny. Like, I used to sit in there and talk to my granny.
Right. That's that love right there. Granny gonna tell you exactly. Granny gonna say, ain't nothing wrong with you, boy.
Yeah.
It's something wrong with them. You know what I'm saying?
She would straight me up real quick. Like, stop thinking like that. Stop talking like that.
So
she was really my steering wheel. I had to get right back on my path.
Right. No excuses, man. No excuses. So moving forward, we get to this conference championship game, man. And I'm gonna tell you this here. I'm gonna be a father right here, right? So they throw Roderick in there. They throw my boy in there, and I said, "Oh shit." They not. And I look, me and my wife watching the game. We watching the game on TV. I said, "They not finna throw a bean to you. They finna throw this motherfucker at Roderick. Roderick coming off the bench cold. I'm finna have to explain to him, if you give up the game-winning touchdown, hey man, it's okay. I'm getting all this shit here ready." And they played with you. And you put on a performance that was like so beautiful. Like, I was trying to I'm gonna find that film and put it on this here interview. But like, the plays you made was so effortless, so non-pressure. You weren't tense. You was like, man, I've been waiting for this moment here all my life. It was like pitching a shutout, man. It was beautiful. What was going through your head in that moment? For one, I don't even know if I can ask this. I don't know if I can ask. When they brought another cornerback in on the other side, and you know how that secondary brotherhood is. Defense is a brotherhood in its own. But that secondary is a whole nother brotherhood of, hey man, we can't let nobody. For one, the game is on us. In football now, it's pass first. It ain't run first. We're gonna call a spade a spade. It's pass first. In this situation, what is a touchdown ends the game. You can't give it up. You the leader of the defense. You the leader of the secondary. What was said? Put us in the huddle, Bean. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, put us. What was said? Like, what did it come from? The coaches? Did it come from the field generals, which is you and the other, the leaders on the team? Like, what went on in that clutch ass moment right there?
So with Rod know what he can do. It's just Rod gotta believe in himself. So I pulled Rod to the side. I remember that game. We sitting on the bench, me, him, and our other boy, Scotty B, who I said, them boys, all my brothers, I don't care what nobody say, but I told Rod straight up, like, bro, we built for this, bro. We worked all the time since we got here over the summer. We done put in all them extra hours. Bro, we been down it, bro, our whole life. I just told him, like, bro, your people watching, bro. Go out there and eat, bro. Like, I ain't got nothing else to tell you, bro. We built for this moment. He went out there. He like, if you look at the film right now, cause I just watched the game. Like, I just watched all.
You gotta send that to me, cause I was looking for it. I couldn't. That's what I was looking for. I know it was on YouTube live. I was looking for that game.
Yeah, I just finished watching the whole season. Back over, taking notes on myself and things that I didn't want to see on myself. But as far as that game with Rod, like, he was built for that moment. He was kind of nervous. I know he was, but he was built for that moment because he even said, like, he wanted him to come to his way. So that game, it was just like,
what the fuck what was they thinking going over there though?
They weren't thinking at all. That's probably what it was. and the thing was, the conference knew who I was.
Everybody knew. What you ranked in the nation. You one of the top cornerbacks in the nation at that time.
That's crazy.
Who was the wide receiver? I was like, maybe the wide receiver he guarding is one of those guys too. Who was the wide receiver? What was him? Who was he?
He was non-existent the whole game. Non-existent. I don't think I got him up the pass. I'm not gonna lie, in man coverage, but it was a good catch, like phenomenal catch. But
right,
their receivers wasn't nothing I was scared of or nothing I was worried about. It was all, that game was really just be 100% technical, and the game gonna be easy.
Right. So that game, did you understand the magnitude of that game? And yeah, you want to win a championship, but let's be selfish for a little bit, right? Personally, knowing your next steps, and I know you getting a lot of D1 talks and calls and interest, right? At that time, how important was that fourth quarter for you, Dominique Bradshaw? Or did you even think about that? Was you like, man, I'm playing football? Or do you understand, like, going into that game, man, this is the payday, because you came in like, man, it's sink or swim. This my bag, or go back to the D. And I ain't trying to go back to the D, you know what I'm saying? How important was it?
Fourth quarter, no butterflies. Like, I'm rubbing on my stomach right now, no butterflies. I had my two closest friends in the stands. My mama, my daddy, my little sister, my oldest brother, my niece. All these scouts that's here to say they watch me. It's either, is you gonna make your mama happy? Is you gonna make yourself happy? And is you gonna do what you know you can do, make all these peers? I think I had 4 other people that came. My closest partners in high school, we grew up together.
Right.
It's just them being in the stands. I felt like I had to do it. Like, I had to show everybody what I worked so hard for.
So you weren't even worried about the scouts and everybody else. You worried about your people, your support system.
My family.
Right. That's real. That is real, man. That's real.
I'm worried about my family. I feel like I go out here this fourth quarter, we dominate, we eat. I'm gonna get everything that I prayed for.
Right.
And my mama and them gonna see me gain it right here.
Right.
That's all.
And y'all did that. Y'all did that, man. That was a hell of a performance by the defense, man. Like, that right there. And like I say, as a forward, I was sitting there, and me and Roderick Mama, and when they threw him in there, and I'm like, why would they put him in the fourth quarter cold? I'm like, man, I'm finna have to explain to this dude how he gave up the game-winning touchdown. Hey, man, man, beat me for a minute. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, how in the hell, but. Because I'm looking, she like, you think they gonna go right to him? I say, man, they not finna go with Bean. They would be retarded to play with him. That's one of the top DBs. That's the best DB in the conference. You're not going at him. And they played, and the plays you made, it was one play, I think it was an out route or a comeback, whatever it was. And you broke on it so effortlessly, so clean, so just like, I don't know, you could have picked it. I really could have. But you made you made the game-winning play, in my eyes. It was like, let me make this play right here, and let's end this game. And, man, you played your ass off that game, man. So the stock then rose, right? Because not only did you win the championship game, the conference, you were a deciding factor in winning that thing. So the price then went up. The stock is up, right? So what was the biggest school in this recruiting process is real complicated, right? What was the school that you wanted to go to? What was your dream college to go to?
Growing up, my dream college was always TCU.
TCU.
Yeah, I had TCU posted, like, my mama, I think it's crazy how I went to another school, because I always thought about TCU. I had posters on the wall from Casey Hall and them played. Trayvon Boykin, you know what I'm saying, Andy Dalton. Like, I watched all of them play. Like, that was my team. Them boys ain't never hit my line.
God, dog.
Boys ain't never hit my line, but what's crazy was, like, other schools, like, big schools, like, I don't even want to say their names, but the big schools in the Pac-12, and there was a couple of SEC schools that hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Like, they always like, you too skinny. I'm like, you're not the size. No dog, it's how that dog gonna bark and eat.
Yeah, yeah.
Feed his family, but they ain't see it like that.
Right.
The big schools, they ain't never really give me no chance, but TCU was my dream school. For sure.
Right.
I really want to play anywhere in Texas. I just want to put on for my people.
Right. So in your thought process, all right, because you got options, even though that we talked about the dream schools, but you got schools, galore. Right. So how did you decipher the real offers from the fake offers? And you know what I mean when I say fake offers, let me get you so he won't go over there. I don't want to play against him. Or let me get him even though I got 17 cornerbacks on. Now, mind you only got 2 more years of eligibility, right? You ain't got time to play. So now your stuff got to be way more intensive and critical for us to thinking on choosing where you go. So how did you narrow it down?
So I learned fast that recruiting is a business. Like this college stuff, all this is a business. You know, I had to make a business decision. I feel like. Mm-hmm. So Utah was my first scholarship offer, like ever really, like D1. You know what I'm saying? That made me. I was even like, but like I didn't really want to go there because I feel like if I go there, they got all these 4, 5-star guys. I ain't gonna have nothing but what, three stars when I come in there. They can throw them in there.
Right.
So I had to do my research. I researched the schools, who they had there, who they had possibly coming back. I looked up the depth charts from games. I did my research, you know what I'm saying? I had to make that decision. I fell in love with campuses, and then I fell in love with coaches and my relationship with the coaches. I feel like the relationship was the deciding factor. My relationship with coaches, how I communicate with the coach, was it forced? Did I feel like I could talk to this man about life if it came down to it, if I came in here? Like, I feel like all that tied into, you know, my decision.
So who are your Final Four?
My Final Four was...
Because it's a now I don't want nobody to get mad if they watching this. Yeah. The Final Four is an accomplishment, you know. First of all, it's a blessing to even have a Final Four of Division I schools to pick to. But so whatever schools, don't get mad at them. This was the Final Four of his selections. Who you got?
I had ODU at 1, which is crazy. Them boys, I don't even think them boys won a game this season, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe 1 or 2. I just feel like any school that I pick, I had to be that man. You know, it's my time. You know, it's my time. It's my 2 years. I got to get to the league. Yes. So I'm finna go be the man. I had ODU as my number 1 choice. I love the campus, love the coaches, had the best relationship with Coach Grady Brown. You know, now he's at McNeese State coaching, but them coaches had ended up getting fired or whatever. So I had to scratch them boys off the list. Not too many people knew. I was still communicating with the new coach, communicating with the staff closely. So I had ODU.
That's Old Dominion for y'all non-college knowing. That's Old Dominion University, yeah.
In Norfolk, Virginia, yes. Yeah. And then I had West Kentucky was always my, man, I really want to play at WKU. It was always like, man, like, I got WKU. That was my number 2. I had Marshall, but I wasn't really, I didn't trust the Marshall thing. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, now they my rivals, so it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But what I'm finna say, I had Marshall, and I had really, it was like my top 4. It was like what school gonna come in and offer me late. So my 4th school had to be Georgia State.
Right.
4th school had to have been Georgia State.
And they came in late. They were just too late to the party, though.
Yeah, it was just too late for them boys to catch up with the relationship I had with other coaches, the trust that I had with them coaches.
Right. So Western Kentucky is the choice, right?
Yeah.
So it's time. So now we got more adversity, man. We got this COVID-19 thing that then pushed everybody lying back, right? Everything in a disarray. So now it's going to be heavy coaching, heavy preparation, and the players, player-wise, the ones that are going to succeed to have the most production are the ones that are like yourself, self-motivated, self-disciplined, who work on their own, right? What are your expectations going into your first year at Western Kentucky University?
So I have 2 seniors there, you know, that I'm fighting with for a starting job. Like my coaches at WKU tell me all the time, you fight for a job, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to get out too much insight about what we cooking up.
Right. Yeah, don't snitch on yourself.
Yeah. My expectation, I already completed 1 of them, be in the 2 deep. I'm in the 2 deep right now. You know, I want to solidify myself in the spring, but of course, you know, we ain't got that time right now, but God gonna give it back to us in some type of way.
Right.
So, my expectation, for my season, my goals, I'm trying to lead CUSA in picks. Forget PBUs. I did that in JUCO. I'm trying to lead CUSA in picks. I'm trying to have no deep balls completed on me, no PIs. It's just little stuff that I know I can do that I feel like will set me apart and finally put me where I know I can be. You know, where I work so hard to be, which is on top.
Right.
I won number 2 at JUCO because I was always the second choice. You know what I'm saying? So
that's bars. I'm
trying to be number 1 now. So
okay. Okay.
That's what I gotta do. I gotta eat this season.
Hey, look here, man. It's a hell of a task, and it's good that you know what's coming. And it's been a blessing, you know, for you to even get where you at. And I hope you realize that, man. And just know you probably going to have a lot more Western Kentucky fans. So you make sure you keep up with us and let us know what number you in. Because for this sole purpose, you know, I'm putting this out there so people can, you know, everybody root for the underdog, right? Everybody, it's fine and dandy. The kid that you've been on is gonna make it or whatever. But what about that underdog? Them the ones your type of the ones that don't count. You know, they don't expect to come through and bust up like that. You mess up plans. You know what I'm saying, man? So you go up there, man, and make sure I get my jersey, man, and my T-shirt, and steal some gloves from me too. I don't even know why I need gloves, but steal some gloves from me too. And you keep it up, man. You did a hell of a job, man. Good job tonight. And man, you know we praying for you. And look here, you see this hat? You see what this hat say, right? You gonna have some new supporters, man. You know what I'm saying? So you make sure you look out for us, man, and take care of my boy. Help take care of my boy too, man. Watch out for my boy.
That's my brother, nevertheless.
I appreciate it, being 1,000 with me being safe. So look, there's no excuses, man. This Dominique Bradshaw, Western Kentucky. You better make sure you catch hold of him and don't be late to the party on him, man, because we don't talk NFL. You know what I'm saying? We don't never talk NFL. You might be hearing from him though. You know what I'm saying? You might. What my boy Johnny Will say, you might smell his cologne here in a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Might catch a scent.
Yeah, you might catch a scent, man. So, man, God bless you, Bean. Man, say it's a hell of a story, hell of a job, man, and I'm proud of you. You know, I was a fan from the get-go. You know what I'm saying? I asked my boy about you. I like, man, who was that little corner over there, man? That's over there raising all of the hell, man. That's my boy, man. That's why because he was telling me about because I always with the extra work and all that. I always was on him about that, and I don't know if Roger told I was hard as hell on him as far as this, because with football, he's either gonna play it or you ain't gonna play it. And if you're gonna play it, you ain't gonna half-ass it. You feel what I'm saying? And some people gotta work harder than the others. Some people get stuff easy. Some people gotta work for it. Majority of the people gotta work for it. And you can't be looking and saying, well, how this dude got to here and he ain't nowhere near the player me. He don't work as hard as me. No, you just worry about yourself. And you keep it up, man. I expect you to be on that starting lineup come week 1, because it's gonna be pressure when y'all start back football, and everybody ain't built for that pressure. A lot of people built for that perfect situation. They don't know what to do when the roof cave in. They don't know what to do when the tires on flat. You know what I'm saying? So with y'all first game is against who? I seen y'all schedule, man. What is your biggest game on that schedule, man? That you I got to be on the field for this game.
Game 2, I want to be starting. We play Indiana at their place. Big Ten. All the marbles in my head. Second game of the season. It's time to eat. It's time to. First game, we play Tennessee, Chattanooga at the crib. Then we bounce back. We go to Indiana. We take that flight to Indiana. Then we got Louisville. No, then we got Liberty. Then we got Louisville. So my first 4 games going to be, what are you going to do? It's your time. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like them first 4 games going to show me, tell me a lot about myself. But I'm looking forward for sure to the Indiana-Louisville games, for sure.
Hey, so if you got any message to tell to the underdogs, the ones that feel like, they ain't getting a fair shot, they ain't getting a break, what would you tell them, Bean? What would you tell yourself when you were 14, 15 years old? What would you tell? What would you tell them?
I'd tell, if I could go back and look at myself, and, what I'm saying, I'd tell myself every time they say no, go work harder. Every time they say yes, go work 2 times harder. Because that means they think what was bad is good now. But you got to make it your best. You got to make it greater. So my message to anybody out there, looking like, man, when my time going to come, be patient and keep your head down and keep working. Because sooner or later, you're going to pop. Sooner or later, you're going to pop and you're going to get your blessing on what you ask for.
Do you make excuses?
Oh, no, sir. No, sir. We don't make excuses. I don't even bend down. I barely want to put my hands on my head when I'm tired, because I feel like in a game you do that, you're showing weakness. So I feel like excuses is a sign of weakness. And I always push myself to be mentally tough.
Already, Bean, man. I sure appreciate you coming through, man. This is a hell of hey, man, you set the standard, man. Like I say, we're going to share this amongst the youngsters. And I did this for the youngsters because, you know, I work with a lot of them. And me and my team, we work with a lot of them. And we got to let them know excuses are not being accepted. Either you going to do it or you ain't going to do it. You feel me? And when we said we old guys, so when we said they like, oh, that's just old guys being old guys. I need somebody that's in the middle of that fire and came through that fire to tell them, hey, man, look here. Either you going to do it or you ain't going to do it. So, man, shout out to you, man. God bless, man. Thank you for stopping by. You welcome anytime. Hopefully, I'll be, ain't no hopefully. Oh, I'm going to be getting back with you. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be some ESPN highlights with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the media guy now. So now I got inside access. I'm going to call your phone. You know what I'm saying?
You can do that anytime you get ready. For sure.
Already, man. So God bless. No Excuses podcast. We got Dominique Bradshaw in this thing, man. Western Kentucky University defensive back. No excuses accepted. We going to work and we going to do our thing, man.